Hi, this is not a very good hunting channel. Today I'm going to be mudding in the blind part of the final attack, and I'm going to see if I can get some camo netting installed as well. Stick around. Okay, so first step in mudding your blind is you need some mud. So I'm going to be digging up a bunch of dirt and then mixing with water, and then you add that to your blind. Simple as that. But of course I forgot my shovel, so I'm going to be using the mattock to chop up the dirt, and then I'll be scooping it into the bucket by hand. Okay, so simple enough. Get an empty bucket, mix in your dirt, mix in the water, keep going, keep going, keep going until it's all mud. So when you're doing this, try to get dirt that doesn't have a bunch of roots in it, because I can feel all the roots tangling up while I'm stirring. Okay, good enough. So we got it all mixed up, and then we just kind of throw it on and rub it in. See back here, that usually sits almost right into the water anyway, so it doesn't matter. Even if I mudded it, it's going to get the water will wash it off. So, but yeah, try to get as little rocks as possible. Then you're not having to pick them all out while you do this. It'll go faster. And you just let that sit and dry. And then once it's all dry, come and brush it off. Get all the excess off of it, and it'll be nice and dusty looking, and it'll take away the shine on that fabric. So I'll finish this up, and then I think tomorrow I'm going to be hopefully camouflaging it up with some camo netting and stuff like that. So we'll leave that for now, and then through the magic of editing, it'll be all dry and ready to go for me to do the camo. Okay, well, this is the day after. I've let it dry, so all the mud's kind of dried up on it, so I'm just going to take a broom and just kind of take off the dried crusty stuff, and should leave us with just a thin layer of mud over top of the fabric. Show you a close-up of what's going on. So this is where it's pretty much what it dried off of when I first put it on, and then when you brush it, you can see the fabric underneath coming through, but it's very dusty and not shiny at all. It's really shiny out right now. Here you can compare where I didn't mud it and where I did. See how there's very little reflection. So swept off that side. So yeah, so just keep banging away at it, and then I'll be able to start putting on the camo netting. It comes off easy enough with your hands, so I was just doing it along the edges where the stitching is, because I didn't want to go with the broom in case it was too aggressive. Okay, so I'm going to be putting on strips of the camo webbing. I got this stuff at Cabela's. It doesn't have any netting or like twine through it. It's just the fabric itself. So it's very easy to tear. If you just kind of find a width that you like, grab where it separates, and just rip in a straight line all the way down. You'll get a pretty even strip. So I'll figure out how long I should make the whole pieces. I don't know if I'm going to do twine or just tie this. I can just tie this in a knot. It should be okay. But then I lose a lot of the length every time I lose a couple inches tying a knot into it to have it dangle down. don't exactly want to use a bunch of zip ties like I did on the boat cover, simply because the zip tie ends might scratch the fabric. The boat cover, I mean the engine cover. The engine cover, I don't really care, it's just a burlap sack and it's not really going to be rubbing against itself, but the doors are going to open and close, open and close. Ideally, that means there's ducks out there that I can try to shoot. If I just sit there and never open up, well then it'll be fine. But I'll figure something out and then I'll come back. Okay, I think I got something figured out. So, if you cut it wide enough, or tear it wide enough, you should have an opening in the middle all the way down. That's solid. So what you can do is take one end and feed it through and close it down like a lanyard. So it's just hoops against it. Hopefully you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'll do one over here and hopefully I can get an angle of it for you. Okay, so I'm going to try to loop it up. Through the loop. See how it's open like that? And then I'm going to reach down, get the end of it, and then pull it through. I'm going gently. I don't want to tear this, but it's pretty strong stuff. It's one of those things where if you have it at the right angle, it tears really easy, but if you just try to pull it straight on, it's pretty strong. So basically just cinch down and then tuck it through the next loop and just kind of like weave it through the loops. It's just to break it up. I don't need it to be flapping in the wind or anything like that, but it's just to break up the silhouette. So this is the next loop. I'll leave a little bit of slack and I'll loop it back through. So it's kind of held in place by itself. This loop is on the back of the boat. So because this boat sits low in the water, the back end drags a lot. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to maybe zip tie the joint of these two loops. I'm going to zip tie them up to the hinge of, let me just do one. Yeah, I'll do one. I'm going to zip tie this hoop to the hinge of the line door, and that'll keep, oh here. Okay, so because this hangs low, it just drags in the water all the time, so I'm going to take this loop and zip tie it to the hinge. And this part, that part's going to be down, so it's going to be exposed because the engine is there. So once I have the engine on, I might have to tuck it in, something like that. Put the engine on, and then I'll worry about zip tying it up. So it's a little bit easier. I'm just worried about when I'm installing this, because I'm going to take it off for the drive over and then install it when I get to the boat launch. So maybe I'll just do twine. Either way, I'm just going to get to putting the mesh on because it's going to take a while. Covered it up a little bit more. Still have a small pile of stuff left over. So zip tied back here to keep it up from above the wheels, or on top of the wheels. And then I zip tied this strap up to keep it sagging down. Same thing on this side. Just goes around the hinge. So that's it. Okay, well, I decided I didn't like the way that the center part looked. That center part's pretty bare. So what I did was I took some twine and the last little piece of fabric I had, I just kind of wove it in to make a flap. So it breaks up a bit. It's easy enough to close the doors and then reach out from here and flip that over each time. So it doesn't get in the way when you open the flaps. So, like I said, I'll be brushing in the rest of it when I get to wherever I'm going to be hunting, and I can use the vegetation, throw it into different spots and help break me up. So that was a couple hours work anyways. Hopefully you guys are out enjoying your season if it's already started, or getting ready for it, and wish me luck.